What's up, everyone? I'm in Cusco right now. I did not sleep well last night, and I'm going into my first plant medicine journey tonight. So I'm a little bit like, we'll see about this. But I was waiting around in a plaza and had an interesting experience that I wanted to note and reflect on. I think one of the hardest things about I guess you could say, like, culture shock here has been for lack of better words, just like pushiness of like marketing, like people trying to sell their street vending stuff, their food or art or whatever they have. When I was on the bus, actually going to the 24-hour bus ride of legend from Lima to Cusco, like at the bus stops, because they'd stop not very often, but a few towns along the way, and like people would literally like climb on the bus with like baskets of like food or whatever they had and just start yelling like mangoes, and I was really annoyed because it woke me up, and I was like, that was the only time I fell asleep on the bus, and this mango lady woke me up, and I never fell back asleep for the entire fucking bus ride. I was like really annoyed, but it's just different, you know, like that never happens in the States. But anyways, today in the plaza right here, I'm like in this plaza. Forgive my terrible videography. I was just enjoying, there's just some like funny llamas, like this hand-painted llama that was like goofy, had like sunglasses and was smoking a pipe or something, and I was just like laughing and enjoying the art, and this dude comes up and has this portfolio and he's like, oh, look at my art. And I've only been here for a couple days, and like at least in Cusco a couple days, and I swear like every few minutes, if you're in like a touristy area, you'll get approached. I mean, I sat in this plaza for maybe 20 minutes and got approached probably every like 3 minutes by someone like, oh, you want this? And I'd have to be like, no, like go away, please. I'm just trying to relax. But anyways, the reflection point, I'm just complaining right now, is a growth, something for me to grow with, because I've been, saying no. I've been like, no, like, having boundaries, not wanting to engage because I just want to, do my thing and not spend money on random stuff. I am on quite a budget. That's kind of a part of my whole story here. A little bit of a tangent, but I do landscaping work in Oregon, and it's pretty slow in the winter, and I usually figure out something for the winter to do for work, and this winter I just didn't, and I was like, maybe I should do something different, and like sublet my room out and scrape together what money I had to get here, and basically mostly using credit card, which is like bad, but at this point I'm more concerned about personal growth than my credit score. So if this is what I need to do to like change who I am, or not change who I am, but become more of who I am or who I'm meant to be, then that's worth it, and I'll pay it off and figure it out later. Anyways, don't take financial advice from me. So anyways, today I was waiting in the plaza. I was like, you know what, I have time, what the heck, this guy grabbed, is like, hey, look at my art, and so I was like, fine, I'll hang on and check it out, and no, whatever, I'll just enjoy some art. Initially not intending to buy anything, but then like the longer I sat there and he's being really nice, and I'm like, damn, I feel kind of like obligated to like buy something now because I'm like taking his time. But also there's like a lot of pushiness where I'm like, okay, maybe I'll buy like one piece of art, and he's like, oh, I'll give you a good deal for 3. I swear I said like a half a dozen times at least that I could barely afford one piece of art, if anything. Like I was making that very clear, and he kept pushing that, and I was like, well, I don't know, it's interesting. And so there's like the kindness, but also the like, there's an agenda, obviously. No gracias. No. See, there's another. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sitting off way in the corner of the plaza because they seem to find me here less when I'm hiding in the corner under this building. I have a little more personal space, I guess, whatever. So anyways, so the art's cool. I was enjoying the art. I was like, really, this is cool art. I probably on my own, if I was in an art shop and I had personal space, I would never have bought any of it, because I'm like saving my money, and I'm like, I do want to buy some cool stuff here. I want to buy some clothes, some jewelry, like some whatever, but I want to wait till I really find stuff that like I'm totally in love with, and not just buy random shit, because there's a lot of cool stuff here that I could buy basically everywhere. But this is where the growth was for me, because I felt this obligation, and it was like maybe out of politeness, maybe out of a lack of personal will or boundaries. But I did end up buying a piece of art. It was $150. Hand painted, beautiful painting of Machu Picchu. It was like really cool art, but and I do like the art, but the whole thing felt bad to me, and I feel like now like always look back at this art with like that tainted feeling of like that didn't feel good in my body when I was like, because I felt pushed into it and I wasn't really listening to myself. I was like bending to the will of this other person, and I'm still processing whether that was like out of because I'm too I don't know, kind. But I had this interesting interaction earlier today. I was at a sandwich bar in like a market, and the guy next to me, we say hello, and the language barrier is pretty high, but he's like, hey, I have this. He had a bunch of jewelry, handmade jewelry and stuff, and he was like, hey, please help me, like please help my craft, like I have this jewelry, it's really cheap, please. And I said no, and there was a kindness though, where like I felt like we made eye contact, and there was like a genuine like love and kindness there that felt present, even though I said no. And in this situation, I don't know what would have happened if I said no, but I know a lot of the feeling I've gotten from a lot of these interactions is they'll just try to make you feel bad and like be kind of like, you basically just have to walk away. You can't like talk yourself out of it. You need to just turn around and walk the fuck away, because they'll just keep trying. Anyways, it felt bad, and I'm processing that, and I don't know. I feel like the energy of this month for me, I pulled an oracle card for the month, and it's just an energy of like, things may go one way, things may go another way. In some situations it may feel like perfect, and others may be like not what you wanted or planned, but to be not to make an assumption about whether that's good or bad, or what's best for you, or what's the bigger picture of where it all goes. So I'm kind of just sitting with the question of like, what's the lesson here, what's the medicine here for me, about learning about how to have an open heart and love, but also personal will and boundaries at the same time, because that just seems like a lesson that's present here right now. And I don't have the answers yet, but I'm open to them. So that's where it starts. You just got to like ask the questions and be open to the answers, and then wait. So thanks, y'all.